I'm Jakan, sir, and welcome to our fan experience. Join me as I go in depth today into the match that was. Get into it today with Arsenal playing their first match at home at Emirates Stadium against Leicester City. Arsenal look to continue their excellent start that they had on last Friday with their win victory over Crystal Palace. Now, with their match against Leicester City, they are no slouch themselves, and obviously Leicester are expected to do better than Crystal Palace, and that can be quite intimidating, particularly how well they played against the Gunners last season, with Arsenal only pulling out a 1-0 win at King Power Stadium thanks to a missed throw goal. But as you look at starting 11 today, it's the exact same as it was on last week, and that's a good thing. Actually, I'm really encouraged by that. That Mikel Arteta is wanting to build chemistry, and he certainly believes in these 11 individuals. And only time will tell whether or not they will be able to form a formidable unit, and hopefully they can avoid injury for the season. But I digress. And as we get into it now, Aaron Ramsey had to be very focused early in the match with Leicester getting in a, a great chance as Jamie Vardy was able to put in a great through ball for Wesley Fofana, whom wouldn't expect to get behind the Arsenal defense, but it was put away by Ramsdale. And Fofana did not have the best did not and Fofana did not have the most luckiest of starts, as a few minutes later, Gabriel Martinelli toyed with Fofana and easily got past him, and Fofana had to make a last second attempt to pull Martinelli off the ball, resulting in him getting a yellow card. With Martinelli also having had his own chance a couple minutes earlier, just go off the side netting. But as we continue, a great close range chance off the post for Granit Xhaka would leave Arsenal hungry for more, and they would get it. As I hear some ringing for some reason. Let me see who it is. It is none other than Gabriel Jesus, who has officially arrived and scored his first Premier League goal with Arsenal with a superb chip over Danny Ward off off of a great exchange from Jacques and Martinelli. There was no way Ward was saving that, and that was a great way for Jesus to start his Arsenal career. And boy, it would only continue from there as he wasn't. And the one thing I love is that he was not at after that first goal. He was never satisfied. He was hungry for more, and that would continue in the 35th minute with a great uh, uh, curling a ball off the corner by Xhaka, flicked on by Martinelli, and who else was there but Gabriel Jesus to put it home to give Arsenal a 2-0 lead in the 35th minute, and he almost would get another goal in the 37th minute, but Danny Ward was able to save it, and Gabriel Martinelli couldn't get the rebound in time for Arsenal to get a 3-0 lead early in the first half, which is not was not abnormal for around the Premier League today, with Brentford also delivering in 4 goals in the first half against Manchester United. And aside from a sort of a controversial play at the end of the first half, where Jamie Vardy was able to beat Aaron Ramsdale with the ball off a great pass from Castagna, but and it looked like Ramsdale had fouled Vardy, and therefore the referee awarded Leicester the penalty. But it was looked at by VAR and the play was deemed to not be a penalty, as Ramsdale did not have did not end up actually coming in contact with Vardy, and so therefore no penalty, and we end the first half with a 2-0 lead for the Gunners, and no no, no real flaws to speak of. Uh, they were brilliant in the first half, and only t and I couldn't. I'm yearning to. And I've been yearning to see that level of play for so long. And Gabriel Jesus has finally arrived on the scene, and he is the real deal. And as we get into the second half now, Arsenal's momentum seemed to falter a little bit as and to their own demise as through a Johnny Evans over the top ball it came into the head of James Justin, who attempted to pass it over to Jamie Vardy, but William Saliba unfortunately came in the way, and with his intention of being to head it back to Ramsdale, there was a little bit of miscommunication, and unfortunately it went into the back of the net to make it 2-1 with Leicester now getting their first goal. And with Saliba, it was really not his fault at all. Not and it's just unfortunate he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it happens, and we learn from it. And the Gunners seem to learn from it as immediately they put in a great attack with uh Jesus again. He was on fire, but the he passed it. He actually unselfishly this time passed it back to Xhaka, who slotted it into an empty net to give Arsenal 3-1 lead. And as well, it would also help that Danny Ward bobbled the ball for Jesus to grab and easily tap it to over to Xhaka. And with Xhaka, he's a very complicated player, but one who I have grown to appreciate over the years, and particularly I've grown very appreciative of him through the All or Nothing documentary off Amazon Prime, to which I will uh, briefly speak on as when the season ends next week. But when I continuing again, I sound like a broken record at this point. Gabriel Jesus, the excellent chance from only 12 yards out, just hitting it narrowly wide of the post. And the Foxes, determined to make a game of it, would get a goal back after Kelechi Iheanacho, who came on for Jamie Vardy, uh, put in a great fake off of Alexander Zinchenko and passed it back to James Maddison on the far right side, and Maddison ran in and put it between Ramsdale's legs to make it 3-2 now. And for Maddison, it was vindication after being denied by Ramsdale off his glorious save off his free kick last year. And obviously, he's a great player, one whom one who I wish Arsenal signed. And another player that Arsenal is looking to sign very soon, potentially, Yuri Tielemans was also subbed off a few minutes before, and didn't really play uh, particularly a great game, but still a very quality player. But therefore, again, with this Arsenal team, they're so determined to make things right. They've gone through so much adversity through last year and the years before, that when they uh, even the slightest flaw is immediately they snap out of it, and that would continue with literally a minute later, Gabriel Martinelli getting in a touch outside of the 18-yard box, and delivering with his weak left foot into the bottom right corner, a place that Danny Ward never could have saved it from, and such a great goal and a great way to solidify their lead and ultimately their victory in this match, as Arsenal comes out of Emirates Stadium today with a 4-2 victory over Leicester City. And overall, my final thoughts are that I did not expect this match to go the way it did, particularly through Gabriel Jesus's performance, as he completely stole the show in what was uh, a performance to remember. Uh, to be honest, he was really all over the pitch, uh, participating anything that would get him a great goal scoring chance. In particular, how can I miss? There was he should have honestly gotten a penalty awarded to him, as Daniel Amarty clearly uh, hit hit his shin while trying to go for the ball, and the referee was right there. Didn't call. Maybe he went down too easy. I don't know, but it didn't affect the outcome of the game. So it is what it is. Rather than that, he was just on fire, and therefore my man of the match is Gabriel Jesus. With some honorable mentions to Granit Xhaka and Gabriel Martinelli, and why not throw in Aaron Ramsdale as well? But Jesus was stellar, and I look forward to seeing how much more he can grow, considering he's only 25. The first game he was just getting into things. He looked really promising, but if this is a sign of things to come, then Arsenal are in for their best striker in years, potentially since Thierry Henry. It could really be that magical for the Gunners if everything goes to plan. So anyway, leave a like, subscribe, and enjoy my reaction, and join me on the Arsenal fan experience next time as Arsenal takes on the Cherries, Bournemouth. Arrivederci.